everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea. It's nice to have you guys here. I'm trying to get my video uploads back on track. I know I missed 2 regular uploads last week, but it was just a crazy weekend last weekend and then a crazy week and blah blah blah. But I'm filming this on Sunday to upload on Monday, and today is a very special day, at least for me. It's my birthday. Today I am 38 years old, which, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit weird. So I thought I would just sit down and film a kind of birthday reflections video, things that I've been thinking about this week as my birthday has approached, and kind of looking back at my 37th year, as well as thinking kind of ahead to things this year, my 38th year. So I've got a few notes on my phone, but it's also just going to kind of be a bit of just me rambling about my birthday. So one thing I should note, the location of filming this is probably a little bit different for those who've been watching my channel for at least a little bit since Vlogmas, and this will be familiar. I'm down in Sierra Vista. I'm at our house down here, my family's home. And Mom and I came down yesterday and have just been hanging out. It has not gone exactly as we planned. You will see all of that in the weekly vlog coming up on Wednesday. This video will be going up before the weekly vlog with my birthday stuff in it. But yeah, it's it's been interesting, but we're making the best of things and we're still having a good time. So we're just hanging out here for a little bit this morning and early afternoon, and then I think we're gonna go out to Bisbee. So having a nice kind of girls mother-daughter birthday weekend away, which has been really nice. The week has just been really stressful and a bit anxiety-inducing with work, and so it's nice to just get away. And it's cold down here, which has been part of the problem because the heater hasn't been working. Again, more details in the weekly vlog, but it's beautiful. The snow is completely covering the mountains, and we drove through some snow on the drive down here in places that don't normally get snow. So it's been fun and exciting in that way. But yeah, so I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about turning 38 this year and just kind of feeling like I'm officially in my late 30s now. I had friends who last year were trying to convince me that no, 37 is still mid 30s. You can't say you're in your late 30s. But I feel like by 38 and 39 are definitely late 30s. So feeling like I'm officially in my late 30s and not kind of in my mid 30s, it's just a bit weird. I don't feel old, but I kind of do. Like now that I'm nearing 40, it's a very odd feeling. I was not afraid of turning 30. I was so ready to say goodbye to my 20s. My 20s were okay at times and really not okay at other times. There were some really rough things that happened in my life during my 20s, and so it just felt like going into my 30s, I kind of felt like, well, it can't possibly be worse than my 20s. Short of me dying, like my 30s were not going to be worse than my 20s had been, because I had lost my best friend, I lost my grandfather, school and career, all of that was up in the air. I started grad school, I think, when I turned 30. I turned 30 in February, obviously, so early in that year, and then by the end of that year, that fall, I was starting grad school again. And so going into my 30s, it felt like, okay, I've got this, because in my 20s, I did my first master's and then graduated, and then the economy had collapsed. And so I was living with my parents and working a part-time job and not being financially self-sufficient. And it was just really, really stressful and not fun, and just feeling like, it's got to go up from here. So turning 30 was totally fine. I know a lot of people get really hung up about saying goodbye to their 20s and going into their 30s, and 30 feels really old, and I didn't have that at all. I was ready to turn 30. I was ready to start a new fresh year and a new fresh decade and feeling like I'm only going up from here. I feel like the people that I've seen dreading their 30s tend to be people who had a really excellent decade of their 20s. They finished college and then their career kind of got going, and maybe they got married and had their first kid or something like that. And so then it does feel like you've already accomplished all these great things. And so going into your 30s kind of would feel a bit like, oh my God, is it going to keep going so well? But I had the complete opposite experience. Nothing that I thought would happen in my 20s happened. And so it just felt like, okay, bring on 30s. It's going to be, it can't be worse. It can only get better. But then some really good things happened in my 30s. And, I went back to grad school, and then I got into my PhD program, and I started traveling. I didn't really travel in my 20s, but I think I was 29, almost 30 the first time I visited. Yeah, the first time I visited the UK as an adult, when I went to stay with my friend there, I was 29 going on 30. And so it just felt like London has been a huge part of my 30s. Pretty much from the beginning of my 30s, I've been to London several times in the last several months or several years. And so London's been a huge part of this. I've made some really amazing friends, and my friendship circle has changed drastically. I mean, there's some people who I was friends with in my 20s who I'm still friends with now, but there are a lot of people in my life right now that I met in my 30s and that weren't even a part of my 20s. And so my friendship circle has changed. My support networks have grown and evolved. I accomplished something massive with finishing my PhD, and it just feels like, okay, now all of that has happened. And okay, so I'm interrupting this birthday video. Speaking of friends I've met in my 30s and support systems, I just got a text on my watch from Tamsin wishing me a happy birthday. So Tamsin, thank you. I will respond to your text in a minute when I finish filming this video. But yeah, it's just like my 30s ended up being really good. And so now I feel like I'm having a delayed reaction that I saw some of my friends go through turning 30. And it's just this feeling of, are my 40s going to be as good or better? Can it go up from here? I'm really struggling with my mental health at the moment and struggling with feeling like things are going to get better. I know they are. It's like there's two sides of my brain. There's the rational side. It's like, of course things are going to get better, and of course your 40s are going to be great and you're going to do really cool things, because that's just life. You just, there are ups and downs all throughout life. There's no one decade that's like worse than another. And also I still have 2 years before I turn 40. So a lot can happen in 2 years. And by the time I turn 40, it might be like, OMG, this is no big deal. Life is great. But I think just because this is the first year that I remember it, in recent years at least, I don't remember ever feeling so apprehensive about a birthday. Normally I'm really excited about my birthday and I look forward to it, and I just have kind of had this not feeling of dread all week, but just this feeling of, is it even worth getting excited about this year? And I do not want to get emotional filming this, but if you've been watching my vlogs, you know that I've been really struggling with my mental health for the last several months, really, but it just feels like the last few weeks have been even harder than usual. And I don't like feeling like I'm struggling, and I don't like feeling like I'm fighting panic attacks on a daily basis. I'm not feeling well physically or mentally at the moment, and I'm seeing doctors and I'm seeing professionals, and people are helping me out, but it's a process, and so it takes a while, and it just is kind of a bummer that all of this is happening around my birthday. So coming down here yesterday and finding that the heater wasn't working and having it be like, I think it was probably 50 degrees in the house when we got here. We managed to warm it up. They came and fixed it. We manned it temporarily. It's broken again. So we're waiting again right now. But we managed to, warm it up we had some heaters, some electric, like space heaters and radiators that we could plug in and use. And so it's not feeling too bad right now. And we were able to warm it up last night. And like my mom and I were talking about this morning. Like I was just so upset last night, and it really wasn't a big deal. So like there's clearly other things going on in my mind right now, and I'm not coping as well as I should. I'm not rolling with the punches the way I normally do, which is making it a little bit harder for this birthday. But it's gonna be fine. We'll have fun. It's still nice to just hang out here at the house, and it is nice to get away from my apartment every now and then. So we're having a good time, more or less. But it's still just this weird feeling of, just waking up this morning and not feeling super excited that it was my birthday. And like, I feel like I should be more excited that it's my birthday. And so that's a little frustrating because I'm just not used to feeling that way. So I'm hoping once the repair guy comes and Mom and I can hopefully go out to Bisbee, we'll have like a better time. Yeah. I don't really know where I'm going with all this. It's probably going to end up being just a ridiculous video, but I didn't know what else to film, and I don't know. I like sharing how I'm feeling because you guys tend to either give me a different perspective or validate that it's okay to feel how I'm feeling, or both. So, but I also wanted to think back and look back. These are what some of my notes are. Oh, Tamsin's left me a tweet too. Tamsin's really working it with the birthday love today. Thank you, Tamsin. So to not be thinking about dreading birthdays and stuff, I wanted to go over things that I'm proud of for my 37th year and things that I'm hoping to improve on in my 38th year. So obviously the biggest thing during my 37th year was defending and graduating with my PhD. So defending my PhD in April was such an epic day. It just was just crazy, but such an amazing day. And one that I feel like I shared with so many of you, because as soon as I posted, the pictures and the announcement on Twitter and Instagram, and then when that vlog went live the following week, the comments that you guys gave me and all the congratulations and everything was just so incredible. So that was probably the biggest highlight and accomplishment of my 37th year and while I was 37. But some little things that, well, this next one actually isn't that little. It probably seems little to other people, but something that I never, ever, 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 ever thought that I would do. Something that I thought would never happen. And that did in October was piercing my ears. It still kind of blows my mind a little bit when I think about it, or when I'm changing my earrings. It's like, oh my gosh, I did that. I actually did that. I didn't think I would. I had wanted to. I'd started wanting to a lot more over the last few years, but still thought, no, I'm never going to be brave enough. It's just never going to work. And then I did. And then it ended up being such not a big deal. Like the piercing itself was such a breeze. The hardest part, honestly, was the aftercare and just taking care of it with the salt spray solution and waiting for it to heal. And then it did take a little bit longer to heal than we thought it would. And so waiting to be able to finally wear other earrings. Yeah, I still kind of can't believe I did that. So part of me was also like, okay, dude, if you can finish a PhD and pierce your ears, I can probably do just about anything. Again, probably sounds ridiculous to some people, but means a lot to me. Another thing I did while I was 37, and when did I do it? Was it December or January? I think it was December. I cut my hair. I haven't had it this short in years, and the last time I cut it short, I cut it a little bit shorter than this, and I did not like it. It did not work out, and I thought, that's it, I'm never cutting my hair again. And now that I have it this length, I just washed it and blow dried it today, so it's looking really good. I just had the color touched up too last week. Now I'm loving it. I love how easy it is to wash, to blow dry, to style. I love wearing it straight a lot more. I used to always prefer my hair curled, but at this length, I'm loving it straight, and I wear it straight a lot more often. I'm wearing it down a lot more often, so didn't really think I was going to do that, but then I did, and now now I can't imagine having really long hair again. I might, but I'm doubtful because I'm really liking this length. And then the fourth thing that I did a lot more in my 37th year was I got back into reading, which was really important. After graduation, and once I was no longer working on a PhD, I still had plenty of things that were keeping me busy, but I did start reading more and reading for fun more. So some of the things I read are more like for self-development and my freelance work and stuff, helping me with that. But I've been reading a lot of novels and things like that, and it's just been so nice. It's been so nice. So going into the things that I want to do more of this year as a 38-year-old is definitely keep reading. I don't want to stop that. I'm trying to keep reading 3 to 4 books each month, so roughly 1 a week. Not doing too great on that. It's still a habit that I'm working on, but I definitely want to keep reading because I have missed it so much. The 2 other kind of big things, which were also part of my New Year's reflections, so I won't dwell on them too much, but I want to get my physical health back on track and my mental health back on track. So working with my doctor, figuring out what's wrong with my thyroid, figuring out the right dose of thyroid medication for that, getting back into a more regular routine of walking or some kind of physical activity a few times a week, making sure I'm drinking enough water, making sure I'm getting enough sleep at night. I've been tracking my sleep on my watch with an app that I have, and so I'm seeing that I'm really not sleeping as well as I thought I was. So working on things like that. And I finally found a new therapist. I've had 3 sessions now, or 2. I'm losing track. I think it might only be 2 sessions, but I really like her and I like the office, and I have a lot of hope for that working out. And so I'm hopefully just in the next month or so, I'll start feeling better and start noticing a difference, because I've got a lot of things I want to do this year, with my freelance business and with my teaching work and with my personal life. I want to be traveling again. I need to be feeling good physically and mentally so that I can be doing all of those things. I'm tired of feeling anxious all the time. I feel like Chicken Little. I just feel like the sky is falling on a daily basis, and that's not a good way to live. So hopefully some of the things that I'm doing between my GP and my therapist will get that back on track. But yeah, I've got a flashing battery light, so I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it hasn't been too rambly and incoherent, but I just wanted to share some thoughts on how I've been feeling today and how I feel about my birthday. And if you have a birthday coming up, whether you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, I think it's important for all of us to remember that age is a state of mind. You're only as young or old as you feel, and it is what you make it. So I know that the way I'm feeling now is I can turn that around. I can get myself feeling better about today and about turning 38 and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's a good thing. Birthdays are good things. It's 1 more year on this planet, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And I'm very grateful for all of you. Last time I checked, I think I'm up to 997 subscribers, which is mental, and it's just the best birthday gift to have so many new people watching, as well as so many of you who've been watching me for the last year, 2 years, almost 3 years. I adore each and every one of you, and you all mean the absolute world to me. So thank you very much. Say hi in the comments. I'd love to chat with you guys. Let me know when your birthday is and maybe something that you're looking forward to about your birthday. And yeah, I will see you all soon in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye-bye.